All right, welcome back. This is football time, Super Bowl replays. This is Super Bowl number 3, 1968. The New York Jets found a way past the Oakland Raiders to get to the Super Bowl. Behind the arm, maybe one of the biggest arms in history, certainly up to that date, Broadway Joe Namath at the helm. At the time, the highest paid player had signed when he came into the league as a rookie, the highest paid contract in history, I believe, certainly in the AFL. The Jets are fantastic, folks. They rate out an A-plus offense, but their defense, ironically, a C. And the Jets will fare only as well as Joe Namath avoids turning the ball over. Let's put it that way. This Jet defense was better than advertised, but unfortunately, Joe Namath had a penchant for throwing picks, which would put the Jet defense in a bad way. Let's put it this way. The Jets defense managed to hold its own. Better on paper. They were better on the field than they were on paper due to turnovers by Namath. But that ain't the point. The point is here, this week in Miami, Joe Namath guaranteed they were going to defeat the Baltimore Colts. Now, the Baltimore Colts come in here, one of the greatest teams in history. They went 13-1. 13-1-1, 13-1, I can't remember. But the point is, they had the number one offense in the league, in the NFL, the number one defense in the NFL. They were 13-1. They were led by Earl Morrall at quarterback. Johnny Unitas was still there, kind of on the bench, nursing an injury. He would end up playing in this Super Bowl and actually throwing more passes than Morrall. So I'm starting Unitas in this game. Although in reality, Morrall started and was benched in favor of John Unitas, right? But we're going to go with Unitas because on paper he played most of the game and had more attempts. So, Unitas, Matty, Hill, Richardson, Mackey, Orr, Mitchell, unbelievable. This team was an A+, A+. And again, remember, in his identifying the grades and the values of these teams, if they have a plus rating, that means they were a top 5% in both offense scoring or defense scoring. That means this Baltimore Colts team is truly the highest possible ratings that you could be. And they're facing a New York Jets offense that's capable, but this defense is going to be a problem. It is Miami. There's 75,000 plus fans here in attendance. It is January 2nd, 1969. And as I said before, the news is everybody has Baltimore slated to win by double digits, and Broadway Joe Namath will guarantee a Super Bowl victory on the literally the week before the Super Bowl. So A+ versus A+, that's going to put the Jets at a C, and A+ versus C is going to put Baltimore at an A. So going into this game, it looks everything like people would have predicted. Baltimore is the best team on paper. They're the best team in pro football. They rate out here with a definite advantage. We're going to find out if New York... This may remind us all what a great feat it was that the New York Jets found a way to beat this Baltimore team. Baltimore gets the opening kickoff, and they promptly score a touchdown of 10-13. They're going to score a touchdown pass, post pass. So Unitas opens it up with a nice drive down the field, a post pass to Mackey. It's got to be the big, bad tight end, P.A.T. I can just see Mackey catching a post in the middle of that defense. Post pass. This pencil is growing dull. All right. So it is 7-0, and it is every bit of what I expected Baltimore to do with an A-rated offense. The New York Jets go to work with a C. They got to make it. They got to take advantage of every single possession if they want to win this game, and they're going to score a field goal. So the Jets are going to go down, and Turner is going to oblige Namath with a comfortable field goal. As Namath comes off the field, nodding to his head coach, Weeb Eubank, telling Weeb, "Don't sweat it. We're finding out what we can do to beat these guys. We'll take that 3 points, coach." Here we go, Baltimore. What do they do? Oh, Baltimore's going to score a field goal. Holy cow, I thought it was going to be a touchdown. So Baltimore is going to kick a field goal from Michaels. Lou Michaels gets a field goal. And, folks, it's only 10-3 in the first quarter. I thought Baltimore might be up 14-something. So Broadway Joe Namath claps Weeb Eubank on the back, tells him, "Don't sweat it, coach. We're going to go get it done." And 3 on C is going to be a punt. Well, that ain't how you're going to do it, though, as that Baltimore defense, which was rated #1 in the NFL, holds Joe Namath and company to only 3 points in the first quarter. Baltimore only 10. So again, Baltimore should be looking at about a 30-point game. They've got 10 already, so let's find out. Baltimore goes to work in the second quarter, and they're going to get a touchdown. There it is, folks. This touchdown is a 16. So Baltimore goes to work, and it's going to be a screen pass to Mitchell. So Unitas throws his second TD in the Super Bowl. Screen pass to Mitchell. PAT. Johnny Unitas has given Baltimore now a comfortable lead, and the fans here in Miami are getting exactly what they expected, a Colt blowout. Let's find out if Joe Namath can do something about it. Yep, he's going to get him another field goal, so he drives him down, and Weeb Eubank shakes his head at Joe as Joe says, let's go for it. He shakes his head, says, no, we're not going to squander an opportunity to get points. Weeb pulls him off, and Turner goes out and bangs through. Big Jim Turner bangs through a field goal. As Weeb Eubank right now is wanting to collect points every chance he gets. Baltimore goes to work, and they're going to score another touchdown, folks. This one, 7. So Baltimore right now with this A attack is killing them. What I say, 7? It's 4. Yep, 7. 7 is a quarterback sideline pass. Oh my God, Unitas. Sideline pass to guess who, folks? Yep, Orr. You know it. Orr. Beautiful. And the fans here, Baltimore fans that traveled down the highway into Miami on their feet roaring as they've seen the great veteran, the old vet, Johnny Unitas, get the start for the Super Bowl, and he lights up this Jet defense with 3 touchdown passes in the first half. The New York Jets now are reeling. They will have to settle for another Turner field goal. So right now, Weeb Eubank doesn't have the guts to let Joe go for it on 4th, and he's settling for field goals. And in a touchdown game, you can't settle for field goals. In a gunfight, you can't settle for a knife. Baltimore's final drive of the first half. This could put the game away right here. 5. It's going to be a touchdown. Yep, this might be it. 8. So could Johnny Unitas throw yet another touchdown in the first half? Nope. It's going to be a running back run. This is going to be Tom Matty. It's going to be a touchdown run for him. It is a 7-8. It is a crossbuck run. So they get a little crossbuck right up the gut. PAT. Oh, my land. And Baltimore has just blown up, scoring 21. You heard me right. Unitas, touchdown to Mitchell. Unitas, touchdown to Orr. Matt, crossbuck dive. 21 points in the second quarter. Baltimore scores 6. Folks, it's 24-16. And let me explain something. It's only an 8-point difference. Holy cow, neither defense is really showing up here. It's taken everything they got. Turner. Oh, I wrote it in the wrong spot. New York did not score 21. Whoops. Turner, I was going to say, how the heck is that? It can't be an 8-point game. Turner with 2 more field goals makes it 9. There we go, 21. It's 31-9 at halftime. That's kind of what people thought was going to happen in the real game, that Baltimore would just embarrass this Jets team. Turner's kicked 3 first-half field goals. The problem is Johnny U's thrown 3 first-half touchdowns. Johnny U, Turner. U, Turner. I think Johnny U. I'm going to go with Johnny U. But New York, with a chance to come back. Let's find out if they can do it. They need Broadway Joe to start throwing touchdowns. It's going to be a field goal. So again, they drive down, and Weeb Eubank will not let go of this idea that if we're going to have a chance, we've got to take every point we can get. I actually agree with that. That comes out of the old John Madden playbook. Madden says, dude, you've got to take every point you can get because you just don't know what's going to happen. Unfortunately, Baltimore's throwing touchdowns, 10 of the 14. Baltimore's A is killing it. Quarterback seam pass. We're going to bring Earl Morrill in. No, we're going to let Johnny Unitas finish out his career, and this one's going to be a seam pass to guess who? Mackey. The tight end's going to catch a post and a seam today. They can't handle the big, bad tight end, John Mackey. New York, they need a touchdown from Namath right now. No, another field goal. Weeb Eubank at this point is gonna get the over/under in Vegas on field goals made in the game. Anybody who had over 3 is already won money. If you're betting on Weeb Eubank kicking field goals, my God, the Baltimore Colts have scored at will. That's the thing about an A offense. Oh, an event. 3. It's going to be a field goal, blocked field goal. How about that? So they trot out Turner. They trot out Michaels. And it's a field goal, punt, or field goal blocked. And that's going to set up the New York Giants starting the 4th quarter on the A column. So they're going to go into A. Michaels gets a field goal blocked. So the only thing that they can do to slow down Baltimore is not let Johnny U throw touchdowns, but they block a Michaels chip shot field goal, and they're going to set themselves up with their best chance to score a touchdown. Turner gets 2 more field goals, folks. He's on a Super Bowl record pace. He's kicked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 field goals in the first 3 quarters. Unitas threw a touchdown, but had one blocked. Oh my God, here we go. New York can come back. They're going to have a, well, they may not be able to win it, but they can have a big quarter. New York's going to score a touchdown. Finally, Joe Namath following the block. They're sparked 10. But how does he score? He drives them down, and it's an off-tackle plunge for Snell. Snell, off, tackle, run, P-A-T, and that's so wheat mamma jamma. The A chart is certainly nice, is it not? Baltimore might put this away right here. Nope, it's going to be an event. 6. DL make a 3rd down stop, 4th down stop. So turnover on downs as the DL and linebacker of the Jets combine to make a stop, forcing Baltimore. So Baltimore must have been in no man's land, decided to go for it. And we're eating up clock. They wanted to keep the ball and keep eating clock to put this game away. The Jets have a chance. Oh, an event for the Jets is 2. Quarterback is picked off by the linebacker, Ray Nitschke. Baltimore, what's his name? The linebacker for Baltimore. It's not Mad Dog yet. Anyway, picked off by the linebacker. So Namath throws the game's pick. Intercepted by, I can't think of his name, so I'm just going to put linebacker for now. Unbelievable. That's going to wrap it up as Namath and company. By the way, this interception gives them a B. They're already an A, so we get to stay with A for Baltimore. And it's going to be a punt. So Baltimore says, hey, we'll just eat clock and punt it away. And New York's final drive of the game, looking at the C chart, is going to be another field goal. They think they're going to get the onside, get the ball back. But indeed, they do not. Game over. This was our first blowout. I kind of thought this might happen in the Green Bay games. The minute I saw that AA and I saw this C, I knew we were in for a show that the Baltimore Colts were going to chew up the Jets. Even if it was bad rolls, they were probably going to win it. Snell gets a touchdown, Namath throws a pick, and Turner gets a field goal. So 10 more for the Jets, and nothing for Baltimore in the 4th. So Baltimore did just chew clock and get rid of the ball. 16, 22, 25 points for the Jets. 16, 22, 20. So in real life, if this had happened, people would have been satisfied. They would have said the Jets didn't go down there and lay a stink bomb, right? But the Jets actually won this game, which was, in my opinion, still one of the greatest upsets in sports history, because people literally didn't believe the AFL could hold a candle. And it wasn't like this was a Baltimore team that somehow got in on controversy. This was a dominant NFL football team. 31-38. There it is, folks. 38-25. Baltimore is going to rewrite history and not be embarrassed for all eternity. And they're going to do what they were supposed to do in real life. They're going to win it by double digits. 38-25. Johnny Unitas throws 3 first-half touchdowns to keep them on their toes, throws a third-quarter touchdown to add up to 4, and then they went to work eating clock. They did have a field goal blocked, and unfortunately, Joe Namath couldn't match Johnny U. Johnny U is going to be MVP with 4 Super Bowl touchdowns to wrap up his. And I imagine Johnny U now won't go off to San Diego and ride the bench into the sunset. I could see Johnny U retiring at this point, without a doubt, the greatest quarterback in NFL history if he could have thrown 4 touchdowns in that Super Bowl on a swan song. There it is, folks. This is why we replay, because it is fun. And it's fun to imagine what could have happened if Baltimore played up to stuff, and if Johnny U had somehow got the start and had been, you know, on top, on point, right? I would have thought for this to happen, though, there would have been more turnovers by New York, right? But it just turned out that Johnny Unitas was unstoppable. Touchdown to Mackey, touchdown to Mitchell, touchdown to Orr, touchdown to Mackey. Beautiful. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.